And we're back here with the Los Alamitos preview show in a big weekend of quarter horse racing as California Breeders Champions Saturday night here at Los Alamitos, and happy to be joined by Christopher Wade and George Duarte here to talk all about California Breeders Champions night. First of all, how are you, Chris?
I'm doing great, boss. How you doing tonight?
Doing excellent. And yourself, George?
I'm doing good. It's a warm day, but I'm doing good. I like the races. I'm excited for them.
I'm excited as well because we're going to have an all quarter horse card here on Saturday night. And about all those races, 7 of them will be stakes races. And we kick off with what I think are some pretty interesting races for juveniles. A nice allowance race to begin the card. And then some really good horses, some good 2-year-olds in race number 2. And of course, always one of my favorite things is the consensus, and we're going to talk a lot about the consensus here on this show because we have Chris is part of the show, George is part of the show, part of the consensus, Curtis Treese, the hitman, part of the consensus as well, and Joey Quarters back for, I believe this might be his 3rd attempt winning the title of the consensus title. George, you had a heck of a last consensus, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, I think I only missed where I didn't have in the top 3, only one of them, one race, if I remember correctly.
Well, we're going to talk a lot about the consensus. We are going to talk, of course, a lot about California Breeders Champions Night. So how about we take a look at the races really quickly. I'll bring up the PPs for these races. And there it is. Race number 1 is the allowance race that I was referring to. These are horses that have not won 2 races. In 8-1, Mesmerize at the top. Miss Apoli Dash 9-2, Amir Dash. La Peralta, who has run some really nice races in trials, is at 5-2. Fast Moving Wildfire at 10-1. Open Book 7-2. And D Fawn at 7-2, D-Fawn arriving here at Los Alamitos after racing some pretty good ones at Ruidoso Downs, including winning a trial to the Ruidoso Futurity. I went with Open Book, a horse that impressed me. First out at 220 yards, has not won again, but had some talent there in the trials to the Governor's Cup Futurity, running 3rd to fastest qualifier favorite Jess Hawk, and competent. They actually finished as the 1 and 2 top qualifiers to the Governor's Cup Futurity. Anything that stands out here? Who are your selections, Chris and George?
Well, my top selection would be La Peralta. Doesn't look different last time. Earned a pretty good figure with everything factored in, Trouble Track variant. I'm going to go with a Stab in there, a horse with talent, but always been trouble prone the last couple of starts. That'd be the Railroader Mesmerize. There's more talent there. This horse gets away clean, has a chance at a nice price. And, of course, Open Book. This horse had a good amount of trouble last time, broke slow, was finished pretty well the final half of the affair there, and has a look as our 3rd choice. Oh, excuse me, Defawn will be my 3rd choice, and then the Open Book will be my 4th, now a horse with talent. So it's a closely matched split lifter, but 4-1-7-6 in the first event.
George?
I went with the outside horse, the shipper D-Fawn. I mean, last time he moved right when the gate opened and came away slow, so he just tossed that race. The other race at Ruidoso, he broke well and then held off a late charge from the inside rival, and a 3rd place horse came back to win. And then 3 back again, it was in a very productive maiden race where 8 of the 10 runners either ran 1st or 2nd, their next out. So that race was loaded, so I think gets this outside post. I think she's the only concern is this is first time under the lights. Her 2 Remington races were during the daytime, so that's the only concern for me. But I think since it's the first race, there's still going to be plenty of daylight for her, so that's not that much of a concern for me.
Yeah, definitely. We are starting at 7:40 p.m. on Saturday night. Of course, Del Mar is going in full swing. They're going to have 11 big ones on Saturday, so we start about 40 minutes, no, not 40 minutes, about 32 minutes after the last race. So we are looking at around 7:40 p.m. first post here on Saturday night. 9 races for us here on the Saturday night card. I should mention that Michael Rona is not able to join us. He is out of town. Of course, we wish him I'm sure he's having a lot of fun. Wish him a good time wherever he's at. And he'll be back next week, back from his trip. Let's take a look now at race number 2. This is a race that I really like. Pancake Man at 5-2. Hot Ones is on the rail at 3-1. Personal Attack, I gotta mention this. This runner is a full brother to the champion, Train Station V. They pay $78,000 for Personal Attack. And the rest of the field checking me out. Fast Track Eagle in Bull Market. Bull Market is my top selection at 2-1 after running third in a trial to the Robert Adair Kindergarten Futurity. But if you look at the runners that he faced, My Bud, Paywalls, both of these qualified to the Kindergarten Futurity, and My Bud came back and ran in the Edberg Million Futurity as well. Quick thoughts on this one, Chris?
Well, this race, I'm going to give a slight edge to the outside runner, Bull Market. This horse was A- and an A worker prior to the debut. Was actually favored over some very talented runners in My Bud and Hey Was. And those horses did come back to run some strong races against some good futurity runners. And this horse did come back to work pretty well. I gave it an A-, draws well. There's ability there, draws the outside, expect a clear path. Give this horse a slight edge. Then, of course, checking me out, a horse who had some trouble last time, 21 nights ago, kind of back bobble that was crossed. Finished relatively well, has a long shot look to it on our charts up there at, I think it's like 72. Then the rail runner, Hot Ones. This horse had some trouble last time, finished pretty well. Then, of course, the 2, Pancake Man. That's a big look at the outcome. Yeah, with a clean getaway. So we got some closely matched affair so far in the first 2 races.
A-. Did I hear that right? A-.
Yes, I have A++, A++. I mean, it's just all these multiple degrees of quality.
You know, I never had a teacher give me an A-. I would have liked that. No, they went straight to B. I would have taken a C-, but no, went straight to B. Anyways, George?
I went with Pancake Man. I don't think he's the most talented in the field, but I think, with the rider switch, the horse has gone. I think he's back at his best distance. I don't think 350 is where he's best. I think he's 300. Because if you see him in his races, he'll make that move, and it looks like he's going to possibly go by, and it kind of flans out. So I think 300 yards is his distance. Draws well. I think the inside horse is most likely going to break in, so he's going to have, and he's, outside of him as a first-time starter. So should get a really good start with Panado aboard, and I think he's going to hold off, the late charge of Hot Ones and Bull Market.
I have the workout of Bull Market. I was able to get it prepared here for the show. So if you guys give me just a second, I will bring it up and we can kind of look at this this work, because I think it's a pretty interesting one. He had a nice workout getting ready for his trial to the Kindergarten Futurity. So let's see if I can bring it up. Okay, it's a solo work, and there he is. He's going to be a little antsy in the gate, scrambles out of there, kind of goes a little bit to the right. But one thing that I noticed is that the riders just never, ever pushing him. In fact, he might even have him on there, a little bit of a hole there as he goes across the finish line. I really like how he's galloping out here, and I really, really like what he's doing here from this point on. Because if you see him, this horse, if that rider would just let him loose, man, he'd be flying around that turn.
Yeah, it's a very, very impressive workout.
See him right here. Did kind of scramble there, and it took him a little bit of time to kind of get going.
Yep, finishing well. I gave him a tight hold late, -10.
-10. Not, this was not a B- workout or anything like that?
It was an A-.
C+++?
No, it's A-.
All right. Okay, let's go ahead and go to race number 3. This is a claiming stakes race. $20,000, as we can see right there next to the jockey's name. Fly Through Para, 6-1. Special Miracle Runner. What a gutsy runner this one has been. 22 starts. Quick. Has shown some quickness in the past. 2 wins, 5 seconds, 7 thirds. So out of 14 top 3 finishes from 22 starts, Special Miracle Runner. Kronos Invader, 4-1. Mom's Legacy, 8-1. There's BF, He's Outrageous. A horse that first out won last August. now looking for a second victory, Straight and True. That's my top pick at 3-1, and I'm Delighted at 5-2. I think I'm Delighted might be the morning line favorite in this race. Chris?
I'm going to give a slight edge to your top pick, Straight and True. Horse had some little bit of trouble last time and finished pretty well. Got some quality numbers in tow there for the connections. I'm going to give the horse the edge. Of course, the 3, Crimson Invader, was our third choice last time, going 350, ran very well versus our video review horse, bet through the Eagle. And it was a nice runner up there, going 350, shortened to back up to 300 is the only concern. But the horse's number has a look here on my charts in the 7. I'm Delighted to be our third choice up on the outside. Been away for 70 nights, but it's pretty quick. And we'll like that outside post, that speed.
George?
I think it's about the outside 3 horses. I mean, this race every year that I think I've watched, it's always a winner is always one that drops in. You know, they always drop in because of the elevated purse at this claiming level. And my pick is also Straight and True. I think as long as he gets out of the gate clean, I think he's the best finisher, and I think he will get it done. I mean, the only one I'm worried about would be if he's outrageous. You know, he's another one that's ran, you know, in the 1560s. No other horse has ran in the 1560s. He tries these 2 horses. So I think it's between them 2, and you know, you got to respect the gate speed from I'm Delighted as well, and then she draws the outside. But I thought last time it was aided, her win was aided because she had the outside. So I took I gave it a A minus that effort since it was from the outside. So you know, that's why I'm trying to beat her. I'm surprised she's the favorite. I think Straight and True is probably going to go favored. You know, but that's what I think. I think it's between the outside 3 horses. I think the other ones have been at this level for so long, and you know, I'd rather take the droppers.
That's a good point that you made, George, because you look, for example, a Straight and True ran third in an allowance race, but now there's a $20,000 tag for these horses. So if this horse wins this race, and it has a purse of $25,000 for this purse, and they claim this horse, you know, you're talking about upwards of $30,000 for this effort for Straight and True. And this horse in 14 starts, now this is a horse that's pretty much raced allowance races, but in 14 career starts has earned $28,000. So dropping into this level, from a financial standpoint, definitely it's a smart move, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's already a 5-year-old. I mean, it's going to be harder for him to earn $30,000 any other way. So if you look at the fields he's been facing, you know, Up for Everything, Fortunate Corona, Chivalry, you know, those horses would be 1-9 in this race.
Let's move on to race number 4. This is the first big stakes race of the program, $30,000, and we'll look ahead. We'll look a little bit later on the show at the consensus picks, but all of us making the selections pretty much went with a combination of cheater, Beduino's favorite Nuke, or Verbosity. I ended up going with favorite Nuke as my top selection, cheater second, and Verbosity third. I ended up taking out, and I had actually had him as my third pick, Beduino's favorite. And at the end, I went ahead and put Verbosity as my third choice because in the last out that this couple of outs ago that this horse had, I had him winning a race. Ended up running second. So I'm like, horse ran second. You know, I can't drop him completely. You know, I don't care what the level is. I got to stick with him. So that's why I ended up dropping him, putting him back to third as my third pick here. Chris?
I'm going to give a slight edge to the 2 horses. Beduino's favorite. The horse was a pretty good second last time, despite a little trouble along the way, and a good figure. Then, of course, favorite Nook. Your top choice would be my second choice. This horse had some trouble last time and finished pretty well. Numbers are pretty consistent. Has a look, and 400 yards definitely up this one's alley right back. And, of course, the 6 Verbosity, a horse who ran pretty well off the layoff and did have a workout prior to that. Was a trainer scratch 21 nights ago. Second time off a 200-day layoff. Draws well to the outside. Could be a factor from a nice outside pose.
George?
I was really impressed by Cheater's last win off the layoff. I mean, I really liked his workout, and I picked him on top because of that workout. And he ran to it. I mean, he ran huge. And he, you know, the final eighth of 963, he got bumped and then just, you know, shook off the bump like nothing. Easily got to the lead and just started going away. The concern is it is going 400 yards. It's a big jump. It's 100 yards, added distance. But this race is not filled with, experts. That the only horse that has a lot of experience is Favorite Nuke. And his last two efforts, he just hasn't had any quickness early, and his kick that he's showed later has not been shown, especially from his last start. He had the outside post, broke cleanly, was sluggish, and just had nothing late. So I'm not really concerned about the distance. He draws next to a slower breaker who wants the distance, and that's why I like Cheater on top. I have Beduino's Favorite, who's going to love the 400 yards, and then I have Verbosity on the outside, rounding out the trifecta.
Cheater, his first ever start, May 13th of last year, he ran against 5 Bar Supreme, who ended up running second in the Los Alamitos 2 Million Futurity, and Wild Thing, who ran second in the Governor's Cup Futurity and is in the Governor's Cup Derby this year. So, like you mentioned, he's a solid runner for sure. That's the gents list. Looking ahead now to race number 5, the California Breeders' Debutant Stakes. These are sophomore fillies, $30,000 purse, $350, and Cowgirl Up is 5-1 on the rail. There's Above and Sarsaparilla. Delightful again at 3-1. Rocking with Energy 9-5. Edberg Million Futurity runner-up last year, and the 6 is In the Mode. This runner was 4th in the Los Alamitos Oaks. So there's some horses with some nice pedigree as far as class. In the Mode, Rocking with Energy. Even Cowgirls Up qualified one of the top qualifying times of the PCQ HRA Breeders' Futurity last year. Chris, your top pick?
My top pick is going to be a closely matched affair with the two very quality workers. Talking about Rocking with Energy, horse worked very strongly recently, straight 8, and has some impressive numbers. Lost all chance on last effort. The prior effort had some trouble, finished well. So with the big workout, horse has a look as my slight top pick in that event. Then Cowboy Up, a horse who's coming off a long layoff of 251 nights. When last seen, had a stack of trouble for Cesar de Alba, and been away since then. But the workout was very impressive. The horse broke okay, kind of bobbled away from there, and was under a tight hold leg. Galloped out very strong. So nice size individual, very nice workout. Has a big look there as my price play and second choice. And of course, the 4 Delightful again will be our third number. Won well last time.
We're going to take a look at that workout, Chris, but first I want to hear what George has to say about this race.
I went with Rockin' with Energy. I mean, if you look at the races where she did not encounter trouble, they're really good, and they fit really well in this race. I mean, she ran second in the Edberg Million. The 2 Million trial was a good effort, beating Relief Factor and Luxury Brand. So, I mean, her best races are more than good enough. She just had bad luck, in the last 2 starts. Now puts in that good work I liked on July 6th, working 12-1. And draws well, I think, towards the outside, should get a clean start. And I like her with, I think the most consistent horse is In the Mode as of late. I think she's run good races. I think she's going to run her race. Like, I'd be really surprised if she's going to hit the top 3 in this field. And then third, I like Cowgirl Up. I like the workout. I really liked everything. It's just that D'Alba, I don't think gets them cranked up fully ready for, off these kind of layoffs. I think he likes to ease them into, their best form. So that's why I have her third.
Rocking with Energy, she's been facing males pretty much her entire career, except for the maiden start, her first out, her racing debut, and she ran second to Delightful again. And after that, she's faced the best of the best at her age. Ran in the Los Alamitos Winter Derby last out, ran third to BP Cartel Policy, who won the Winter Derby. And she ran third to that horse in the trials of the Winter Derby. So let's go ahead and show the workout of Cowgirl Up. Okay, Cowgirl Up. Chris, this is your price play of the night. So she's on the inside post here, breaking from post 4. I'll let you walk us through this work.
Okay, she sitting pretty good, moving around just a tad. She kind of bobbled just a little away from the gate, scrambled away from there, drifted in a little bit, showed good amount of speed away from the gate, and was under a hold throughout. It's a nice sized individual, was starting out very, very well. Never really asked to run. Look at the galloped out very strong. and moving well nicely. So I'm going to give the horse a big look here in that event. I've been with for a while, but in that last affair, had a stack of trouble. The ability is there. It's just if she's ready to rumble, she's got to look at the outcome there at 5-1. Got to give her a look.
Race number 6, and this will be one of the big money races here on the night. The Rolling A Ranch $50,000 matron stakes. This purse is 25% higher than last year when it was $40,000. $50,000 now that is sponsored by the Rolling A Ranch. Phoebe's Baby Girl on the rail at 8-1. Nymphette, even money. I think I may have single Nymphette to start off my one of my tickets in the late pick 4. Silencer at 6-1. Corona Rose at 15-1. Remember her 5-1. That's the stablemate. No, not the stablemate. Owned by the same owner, Ed Allred. Different trainers, Willoughby and Glenn. Glenn trains Nymphette. Favorite Lady Cartel at 5-1 and Temple Court at 8-1. I went with Nymphette after she ran third to Patty Saint and Jessica Cruz. Jessica Cruz, and she always runs one of those big races, when the spotlight is on a big night. Patty Saint, just a machine, winning machine, that is. Nymphette finished third against that group in a $100,000 race. I think she's the one to beat here in race number 6. And so does Ed Bergar's morning line at even money for the 2 Nymphette. Any thoughts here, Chris?
Yeah, Nymphette definitely one to beat. Didn't have to get away very well, kind of leaned back at the start last time, but finished very well for a very good third versus a bullet away from the gate. And, of course, Patty Saint, who's just so talented. But this horse definitely one to beat with getting close to a decent getaway. The horse lay outside Temple Court. Didn't have the best of beginnings last time, but finished pretty well. The outside post gives the horse a look at a price. And, of course, the 6th favorite Lady Cartel will be my 3rd number there for Paul Jones in that 6th event.
George?
Nymphette is strictly the one to beat. Is just she got fortunate last time that she broke slow. She broke almost like a length slow, but just kept her path the whole time, so it didn't hurt her that much. So, I mean, she can't make any mistakes in here at this distance. She needs to. I mean, Ayala is a good gate rider, but I mean, she is the top pick. She is my top pick, but it's going to be hard for me to single her because I know, her race could be over in an instant. And the horse I think that can surprise would be the 6th favorite Lady Cartel. I think last time she came in and bumped, and then she was asked like passing the gap, and then started making ground, but then lugged in again, and then the rider just took hold and just coasted to the wire. So I think she would have finished much better in that effort. So and if you look at her other races, her her last 2 races at this distance, besides that last one. Those times fit in this field. 1760s is faster than Temple Court and faster than, Remember Her and the other one. So I think, she just needs a clean start. Martin Arriaga has been winning races as of late. So if Nymphette finds a way to break slow again and lose her path, I think favorite Lady Cartel can pull the upset.
Nymphette's strength is that distance, right? Because she usually is a very low starter, but then she takes off as the race continues. She's had her chances at 400 yards, but hasn't won in a while at 400 yards. Ran 3rd in the Charger Bar, ran 3rd in the Las Damas last year, but again, she's been facing the best of the best in the mare division. This is her time, I think.
Yeah, she's been facing the best of the best since her 2nd career start. I mean, they just jumped her right from maiden to stakes races.
To the Millie Vessels, right? And I think she ran.
Millie Vessels was her 3rd start. Which is like unheard of, basically.
Yeah, she won the debutante here at Los Al, and I think from there she went on and as a 3-year-old took on the top mares in the Mildred Vessels and ran 2nd right there to Patty Saint. That was September 18th, 2022. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back for the last 3 big races on California Breeders' Champions Night. That will be the Spencer Childers, the Governor's Cup Derby, and the Governor's Cup Futurity. We'll be right back.
The best of quarter horse racing is always at Los Alamitos Racecourse. Our next marquee event is California Breeders' Champions Night on Saturday, July 27th, with $600,000 in purse money on the line. The Governor's Cup Futurity will be headed by fastest qualifier favorite Jess Hawk. while the Governor's Cup Derby will feature top sophomores, plus the Spencer Childers Championship Handicap for top older horses, and the Rolling A Ranch Matron Stakes for distaffers. It's going to be a great night of quarter horse racing, the best of racing always at Los Alamitos. The traditional $2 Pick Six at Los Alamitos is always a great bet. And when there's not a Pick Six carryover on Sunday nights, we'll add $10,000 to the Pick Six pool. Every Sunday night, we'll have either a Pick Six carryover or the 10,000 Pick Six promo, leading to gigantic total pools like the $286,000 pool on May 19th and over $269,000 on June 8th. The traditional $2 Pick Six, a great bet, a great deal, always at Los Alamitos.
And we're back here for the second half of the Los Alamitos preview show. We're talking California Breeders' Champions Night. 9 great races on tap here this Saturday. First post, 7:40 p.m. And 7 stakes races as part of this 9-race card. We're now talking race number 7, the Spencer Childers California Breeders' Championship Handicap. And on from post number 1, 4 to 5, the big favorite, London Toby. He's a defending champion in this race, looking to win this race on consecutive years, the first horse to do that since Villa Bono back in the early 2000s. London Toby, 4 to 5, require first. 15 to 1, I've always liked require first. He's ran some nice races against top competition, ran second in the Southern California Derby last December. Cattail Cove, the veteran, 7-year-old, 46 starts, and I think every one of them has either been either a stakes race or a trial race. Out of those 46, probably 44 have been at that level. Always a chance. This horse won the Sgt. Pepper last year and had a nice workout to prepare for this race. This is actually his first start of the year. You can run another big veteran, a 7-year-old. He's won 9 races in his career for trainer Mike Castleman, and Terrific Phoenix. New connections here for Terrific Phoenix. He goes from Paul Jones and owner Parsons family to Valentin Zamudio, owner trainer Ruben Lozano up. He's 6 to 1 on the morning line. London Toby is going to be, I think, everybody's top pick. My second pick in this race went with number 5, You Can Run. Chris, your top pick. Let's make it your top 2 picks.
Okay, London Toby, my top choice. Horse, like I said, won this race last year. Just gives 100%. Been facing nothing but the top runners in the country. Comes out of the Impressive race and Jericho race. So very impressive third there versus those top-notch runners. And, of course, the second choice, Cattail Cove, always gives you 100%. Had a little trouble last time. Ran pretty well to get a slice of the pie. And, of course, the outside, You Can Run will be my third choice.
George?
I think it's going to be a repeat exacta. I mean, always a chance, ran second in this race last year. And I think this is where last year, where I think London Toby finally, put it all together. I mean, he showed that improvement in the vessel's maturity, and then put it all together. And last year, Spencer Childers to get it done. He was my best bet that day. I thought he couldn't lose. And I think it's going to be a repeat exacta. I think always a chance. I mean, off that effort, won the Sgt. Pepper, and then got antsy in the gate and ran bad, and then again got fractures and ran bad. So I think he needed the break. He got his break, and it was a very, good, promising, workout he had. So it looks like he's back, back in his game. He wasn't fractures in the workout. So he looks like he's back. He's ready to go. He just needed a break. So I think it's going to be another repeat exacta of London Toby and always a chance.
Okay, those are our thoughts on the Spencer Childers. Let's listen to Scott Willoughby, what he thinks from London Toby. He actually talked a little bit about Up for Everything. When we did this interview, we were still thinking that maybe Up for Everything was going to end up being part of the Saturday night card. He's not. But we also talked about Boardwalk, Listen Now, and even Remember Her, who is in one of the Rolling A Ranch race. So let's hear from Scott Willoughby.
And we're here with trainer Scott Willoughby on the eve of the California Breeders' Champions Night. Very few trainers have won more stakes races during this great series than you, Scott, and you're going to be busy again on Saturday. Let's start in the Spencer Childers, Up for Everything. Of course, London Toby, the big name.
Yeah, Toby's doing great. He ran a very good race the other day, ran third, but he ran a great race, just got outrun, unfortunately. We keep going and see how he does in here.
up for everything, just keeps getting better, kind of reaching that level?
He's really coming on. He doesn't look like he can go down the track 400, 440 yards, but in these 350 races, he's going to be really tough. Really well.
Of course, we got the Governor's Cup Derby, the Governor's Cup Futurity. Let's start with the Futurity. Listen now, with a nice victory in the trials.
Yes, that horse is just doing good. It just keeps getting better, and I think run pretty solid in the finals. I think we got a shot at it.
And Boardwalk, all the talent's there. The breeding's definitely there. Just got to put it together one time, right?
Yeah, he's finally put things together this year. It took him a little while. He's a big colt. It took him a little while to come around, and the 3-0 year looks really promising.
I know one of the races that Dr. Allred would love to win is the Rolling A Ranch Matron Stakes, and you have some nice mares in that race.
Yeah, I've got to remember her in there, and she has run well early. Her last 2 races has been a little off, but I think she's coming back well for this race.
Best of luck, looking to add more and more wins on California Breeders' Champions Night, Scott Willoughby.
There's Scott Willoughby talking about several of his runners that will be in action on Saturday night, and he is second all-time in wins on California Breeders' Champions Night. This is the 25th edition of this program. He's won 23 races in his career. Paul Jones is the all-time leader. I think he's got 33 wins in this series. Let's continue our look at these races here. We'll go ahead and now move to the second richest race of the night. That's the Governor's Cup Derby. You see that trainer Mike Castleman won the Governor's Cup Futurity last year with this runner. Now he brings him back and looks to win the Governor's Cup Derby. This horse is still a colt. Separate interest in Mindy's favorite. Definitely would be a great story to see this horse continue as a colt and establish himself here in California with another victory here at the Governor's Cup Derby at 400 yards. Optical Illusion, 5-1. This horse has teased us in the past. Let's see if he can do it on Governor's Cup Derby night. Check-in Cartel, a filly. And that's my top selection. I went with her. I like the way she finished that last race, running second to the fastest qualifier, Winner Share. And actually right there with Boardwalk, they ended up dead heating for second. Winner Share at 3-1, the favorite. Well, the fastest qualifier, Check-in Cartel, is 5-2. Winner Share at 3-1. Boardwalk right behind them at 7-2. Mask Mandate 6-1. Change Happens. Wild Thing 20-1. Ran second in the Governor's Cup Futurity last year to you see that. And twice over completes the field at 15-1. Market Analyst did qualify to this race, but it's not part of the big field. But just have to mention that runner as well did make the final. My top pick, like I said, Check-in Cartel. Your top pick, Chris?
I'm going to give a Trouble Prone under Lux. The horse keeps promising, and coming up a little bit short. Optical Illusion, one more chance. This horse has got a good amount of talent. Always seem to find trouble away from the gate. Finished pretty well last time with some trouble along the way, so I'm going to give him the slight edge. And, of course, the 4 Winner Share, who won well from the outside post last time. Good amount of speed and some heart, was finishing steadily under the light hand shove to win that trial. And, of course, the 5 Boardwalk will be our third choice for Scott and the doctor. This horse finished steady, ran pretty well. Has a look at the outcome as well.
George, who are you going with?
Well, first with Optical Illusion, my last chance was about 3 starts ago. I had to give up on that horse. I mean, I just kept chasing him, and it just didn't work out for me. I mean, the one to beat is Check-in Cartel. Her races at this distance all fit in here every start. I mean, she's super consistent at this distance. So, last start I think it was just it's a trial. There was only like two trials, so I think they were just like, let's get her ready for the final. And so I expect a big effort from her. But I went with Willoughby and Allred with Boardwalk. I liked, his problem was the lack of gate speed. I think the last time off the layoff, broke a lot better and put in a game effort in between rivals at the end. And I think he still has an upside compared to, I think, a lot of these kind of already plateaued. I think he has one more step forward. And if he can take that step forward tonight, I think he can get it done. So I have Boardwalk on top. I have Check-in Cartel second. And I have Change Happen third. I really liked how Change Happens responded to urging at late when asked, and then he draws well, draws him towards the outside, and then I'm not a big fan of the 2 outside horses. So then I think he should have a nice clear path and, you know, round out the trifecta.
And I don't know if you guys caught that, but when I said to Scott Willoughby, you're just hoping that Boardwalk puts it all together just once. And then he said, he's been putting it together. He is putting it together. And, you know, those last 3 races that he's had, they've been pretty solid. Ran 3rd to Political Rivalry, who won some big races last year. Then 4th in a pretty strong Derby. SC Time to Run and 5 Bar Supreme favored Nuke with a nice strong finish there, a nice race. And then, like you mentioned, George solid 2nd there in the trials to this Governor's Cup Derby. So Boardwalk 7-2. My top pick, Checking Cartel, at 5-2. I didn't think that was going to be the odds on this filly facing all these boys. 5-2, and Chris Wade with a little bit long shot pick there, giving it one more chance up to 5-1.
I'm gonna hold you to that one more chance.
Okay.
You can't pick him next time if you bring back.
Hey, I got you bet the Eagle a couple weeks ago at one more chance. You never know.
That's right, Chris. Stay with it. You know, this is one more chance plus.
Yeah. And also, it'd be cool if UC that wins this race, since he got the rail and the futurity in one. Now draws the rail again.
Let's since you brought up UC that, let's hear from Mike Castleman. He's another one that has a very busy California Breeders' Champions night. He's got a couple of these horses here and a couple of runners as well in the next one, the Governor's Cup Futurity. Let's listen to Mike Castleman.
And we're here with trainer Mike Castleman. Mike, last year, a dream of a futurity for you because you were the owner, breeder, trainer of the winner. You see that coming back, looking for a sweep. She's in the Governor's Cup Derby. Tell me about this nice runner.
You know, he's doing pretty good. We probably needed an out pretty bad before the trials, so he hadn't run too far down the racetrack. He's never run 400 yards before, so it was a little bit of a challenge for him to finish the way he needed to, but he came back real good, so we're ready to go.
And you also have the fastest qualifier, Winner's Share.
Winner's Share, and he's doing excellent. I think Jose had the pick between the two, and he's going to ride Winner's Share. He's really liking the colt. If he does well at the gates, I think we have a very good chance.
The big name in the Spencer Childers for your barn is You Can Run, a former Grade 1 winner, and he's been so good this year.
We've had a lot of fun with him. I know we're stepping up quite a ways, so we'll just give him a shot and see how we do.
And talking about giving it a shot, you got a couple of shots in the Governor's Cup Futurity, Competent being in there, as well as Naive. Tell me about these 2 nice runners.
You know, they've just kind of improved all the way along. They drew good in the trials. We ran them in the Edinburgh, I guess it was the Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Anyway, they've been improving each out, and they came back real good. So we're real happy with the way they're coming into this race. I know it's tough, but if we draw good, we'll give it a whirl.
And of course, Competent with the 2nd fastest qualifying time, so you know that the speed's there.
Well, we hope so. So,
best of luck.
Thank you.
Here's the final race of the program now. Is the Governor's Cup Futurity. $275,000 race, the Governor's Cup Futurity Grade 2 event. Let's look at the field. Midnight Mood from the rail at 5-1. Favorite Jess Hawk, the fastest qualifier, 3-1. Party Time Tom, 8-1 on the morning line. And he will be my top pick. We've seen it many times there where a Monte Rosa horse in the in a futurity or in a stakes race just runs a top race after kind of been right there at the edge of breaking through and having a big race. I'm gonna give Party Time Tom my top selection at 8-1. Competent 4-1. Naive 6-1. Mas Prieta 30-1. Trainer Elena Andrade said that usually the fillies that she's got are not big size. Mas Prieta, she said, is a really good size filly. Favorite Cartel out of Jos Mas. Malinche at 10-1, Low and Fast. 12-1. Snowbound at 10-1. They paid $245,000 for Snowbound. And Listen Now at 6-1 on the outside post. I said my top pick is Party Time Tom. Who's your top pick in this race, Chris?
I'm going to go right back to favorite Jess Hawk last time was our top choice last time. Broke good, skied a little bit early, but was finishing steadily the final half of the affair on own with one left to give and galloped out pretty well. Be my top choice. We'll go to the 4, who was second to the aforementioned favorite Jess Hawk in their trial race, which was finishing well and galloped out pretty well. We'll definitely have a look at the outcome with expected step forward. The horse is 7. Malinch, this horse was impressive last time and finished well and galloped out pretty strong. So you got like 6 horses in this event that figure within a half a length of one another on my numbers. So it's a closely matched. Probably get the slight edge to favorite Jess Hawk there for Jesus Nunez and company in the finale.
And turn Lindolfo Diaz. It seems like every Champions Night now for the past few years, he finds a way to get a stakes race, stakes win. George?
I'm going to go with Listen Now. I mean, if you would have given us this list of qualifiers before the night started, and you said, all right, who do you think is going to be favored, going into the final, everybody would have said Listen Now, and you would have thought, it would have been 6-5 even money. So just because, first time going 350, put in a good effort, now he's going to be 6-1 in this race. So I think Listen Now, if he runs anywhere near, that debut and, takes us step forward second time at this distance, is strictly the one to beat. I mean, I like the post. A lot of the times these futurities, the inside gets crowded or the middle gets crowded, and I think that's probably what's going to happen here. So I think the beneficiary would be Listen Now, and then the 9 Snowbound. I really liked his debut when he overcame trouble and beat what did he beat again? Party Time Tom. So, I mean, he kind of disappointed. I thought he should have done better last time, but, his first time, I thought, maybe it was the inside post that affected his kick. So now he gets the outside post, draws into next to a horse that likes to break in and low and fast. So I think he should get a clear trip and round out the exacta.
Jose Flores, still 1 win shy of 100 stakes wins in his career, but he's got a chance here with low and fast. Got a couple of chances throughout the night. Another trainer that is coming close to a nice milestone is Felix Gonzalez. He needs 3 more wins with either a quarter horse or a thoroughbred to get to 1,000 with those breeds here at Los Alamitos. So that's the field for the Governor's Cup Futurity, a restricted Grade 2 event. These are all California breds, $275,000 purse. And it's a good one here. Favorite Just Hawk, 3-1, and the fastest qualifier. Again, my pick is the 3, Party Time Tom at 8-1. Armando Cervantes is gonna stick with Party Time Tom, and Eduardo Nicasio comes in to town to write Midnight Mood for trainer Monty Arosa. So a great group of runners here. We just went through every single race of California Breeders' Champions Night. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk consensus here on the Los Alamitos preview show. Final segment of California Breeders' Champions Night and the preview show here at Los Alamitos, and we're going to take a look at the consensus, a tradition like no other here at Los Al. Whenever we have these big nights, these big trial nights, we do a consensus page in the program on Nightlines. Of course, we post it on losalamitos.com, on Twitter. We'll put it on our Instagram page at Los Al Racing. And here it is, this year's California Breeders' Champions Nights consensus page. And we're just going to take a quick look and see if anything stands out. Here, again, our handicappers, the Hitman. He loves being part of these consensus selections. Me and him used to go for a belt every time we would have this, and whoever had the most points would keep the belt, and the loser would bring pizza. Of course, I would change the rules every once in a while, just to keep things honest, but Hitman loved that. Chris Wade, you're going with La Peralta, so is the Hitman. There's George's picks, Defon. I'm the only one there with Open Book. And the one that ends up getting the most points is La Peralta with 17 points, Defon 11, and Joey Quarters picked Amir Dash on top. So that puts Amir Dash as the third selection with 6 points. George, you went with Pancake Man, the only one. Everybody else took Bull Market. Again, remind us why.
I think, like I said earlier, I don't think he's the most talented, but I think he's going to take advantage of, his post draw. I like Pinata with the horses that are quick. I think as long as he just breaks straight, he's been breaking in and out. And then I think he's going to get the jump on these, and I think he's going to hold him off late. I think, if this race was 350, I wouldn't have him on top, but I think at 300, I think he's going to get the jump and hold on.
We all went with Straight and True in race number 3. The Hitman goes with Am Delightful. He's outrageous. Actually got the second most points with 9. Chris, Beduino's Favorite is your top selection in race number 4. No one else had Beduino's Favorite as the top pick. Again, why Beduino's Favorite?
Well, the horse won well last time with just a little bit of trouble. The horse was starting out very, very well. I think the horse ran a very good second, with a little trouble along the way and galloped out pretty well. So I think this horse definitely will like the added yardage and give the horse the slightest of edges there in that fourth affair.
You did pick Favorite Nuke second. I like that because I put him first. Favorite Nuke, I'm hoping that big kick that he's got helps him out. I've always liked this horse. And this is a very close group of runners. Cheater with 13 points. Beduino's Favorite and Favorite Nuke both get 12 points as well. And we love to see a race as close as this consensus has them. That'd be pretty cool. Cowgirl Up is the Hitman's top pick. This was your prize play, Chris, but the Hitman has even more confidence than you do on Cowgirl Up because he picks it on top, but still you're picking Cowgirl Up right there third. George and I went with Rocking with Energy, the Edberg Million Futurity runner-up, and some nice runner-up efforts in some other races, some nice grade 1 participant races as well for Rocking with Energy. George, you went with In the Mud as your second pick. Why?
I think because I like the post, I think, and then she's also probably the most informed horse. The other two horses, Cowgirl Up and Rocking with Energy, off the layoff. So I know that she's going to run her race. I just don't think it's good enough, but I think she's going to hit the top 2.
I think I kind of figured it out. Chris, you gave Cowgirl Up an A- work, but the Hitman thought that was an A++ work.
I gave Cowgirl Up a straight A.
Oh,
it was a straight A. I gave a couple other ones earlier, A-, but she was a straight A, much like Rocking with Energy was a straight A. So both quality runners.
Nice. All right. Nymphette gets every top point in race 6, 25 points. Favorite Lady Cartel is myself and also George's second selection there at in this race. She ends up 8 points. No one else had more than 5 points there. But Chris, Temple Court, you picked Temple Court second.
Yes. This horse didn't have the best beginnings last time. It finished pretty well. The outside post could promote a clear path to the wire, so I gave the horse a look at a price to grab a slice to apply at a price.
And again, all of us picked London Toby. That gives him 25 points. Always a chance. He appears second in a couple of selections. Hitman, George, and Joey Quarters all pick always a chance second. And George, you made that good point that this is actually the exacta from last year, Spencer Childers.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, it looks like to me it'd be harder than, as long as they have clean trips. I think it's going to be hard for that exact amount to come in.
You know, You Can Run has had such a good, fun season. Began with an allowance win, ends up winning the Cahuilla Bar, and you know, he's the old man still's got it. He's still putting together some good races. It's kind of fun to see him, you know, hit the board or do pretty well here. And I picked Terrific Phoenix to complete the try. Kind of different views in the Governor's Cup Derby. The Hitman and George Duarte. Our current Trackman, our last Trackman, both go with Boardwalk. Chris with Optical Illusion, and me and Joey Quarters there with Check-In Cartel. And Check-In Cartel ends up with 16 points. Boardwalk with 15 points. Fastest qualifier Winner Share gets 7 points. Chris, you're going with Optical Illusion on top, but Winner Share is your second pick.
Yes, one Optical Illusion, one of those. Got to give the horse one more chance, probably for like the 5th or 6th time in a row. But one of these days, this horse will get there and be a nice price. So it's my price play in the racing card. If he gets away decently, has to look at the outcome. And of course, Winner Share, one wheel from the outside post, under just a hand shove while lugging in a little bit late, but still pretty solid performance. And of course, the 5 Boardwalk will be right there as well for Scott and the doctor.
You know, and it always confuses me when me and the Hitman agree on something, because we're usually like oil and water when it comes to our picks. But this time, we both went with Party Time Tom at 8-1 to win the Governor's Cup Futurity. So, you know, that kind of made me feel, pretty good, you know, that maybe there's a chance for me and the Hitman, you know, to come together in our selections. And maybe this is the time. Favorite Just Hawk and is the top selection for Joey Quarters and also for Chris Wade. And George, you kind of went a little bit different route. Listen now, your top pick. Remind us why.
I think, I mean, if I would have showed you that pick before these trials, everybody would be like, "Oh, you're going chalky." So you know, I'll take what would have been chalky 3 weeks ago at 6-1 today. So that's why I like her. I mean, he showed plenty of ability in his debut, and then put in a solid effort that doesn't dissuade me in his trial win. You know, so I think it's all system go. I think it's going to be a night for Willoughby and Doc. You know, they can easily sweep the late pick 4. You know, it's not something. Nothing crazy has to happen for them to do that, and I think it's very, very in play.
Not only did you think it, you actually backed it up in your consensus picks. Ninfet, London Toby, Boardwalk. Listen now.
Yeah, I put my money where my mouth is.
And Chris, Competent is your second selection.
Yeah, Competent ran a very good second. Which from left to give there versus my top choice favorite Jessa Hawk. They come out of the same race, and with everything factored in, Trouble Track variant numbers are very, very close. But like as noted, you got 6 horses in the finale that figure within like a long neck, quarter length of one another. So it's a closely matched affair. And these 2-year-olds, they improve immensely from one start to the next. So it could go a number of ways in there. But I'm going to give that favorite Jessa Hawk the slight edge. He was starting out well last time under a light hand shove, a big gallop out there in that trial.
I mentioned earlier that Lindolfo Diaz, you know, in the past few Champions Night, he always finds a way to get a stakes win. E.G. High Desert Farms the same way. And now with the top qualifier to the Governor's Cup Futurity. Favorite Just Hawk, and this horse sire by a freshman sire, Amir Felix. Always good to see a new name, especially a Calbred horse with a Calbred sire here, Amir Felix. So favorite Just Hawk is your top selection, Competent your second. Listen now. As far as the consensus goes, favorite Just Hawk gets the most points. 14 points on the night. Party Time Tom with 13 points. Well, we talked up and down about California Breeders' Champions Night. Should be a great night of racing and a really good crowd. I think we're going to have a fun crowd out here. With the last few Saturdays, we've had some nice big crowds here at Los Al. It should be another good one here for a great card, California Breeders' Champions Night. So it should be a good one. Thank you for all the listeners and everyone that joins us each and every week. Love to read the comments. Keep them coming. See you on California Breeders' Champions Night. Thank you all.
Thank you.
See ya.